Hello and welcome to tutorial number 2. In this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to add your game object to the scene and set up your application manager correctly. Also, in the last video there's a bug in the code that would cause an error that I forgot to correct. Go ahead and open up your stat manager. And here where it says instance equals this, you're going to need to change that to new stat manager. And save. Now, over here, we're going to go up here, create an empty game object, and this doesn't have to be anywhere, just let it sit there, and just drag the application manager onto it. I'm going to go ahead and create a terrain. If you click on the terrain, you can come over here and select a texture. I'm going to go ahead and do that if I have any textures. I did not import any. So what we're going to do, just to make this not look as bland and nasty, right click on your assets folder, go to import package, and click on terrain assets. Import. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a texture now, and let's just add grass. Just so it doesn't look horrible. Now, what I use for a player controller is actually I use a sphere, but for this tutorial we're just going to go ahead and use third-person controller, which we already have. So go to standard assets, character controller, and drag the third-person controller out. You're going to need to scroll in. If you hold shift, I have heard it scrolls in faster. I have not noticed that one bit. Go ahead and grab this by clicking the tool up here and move it above the ground. Now if you click play, you will see you have a guy who will not stop running on the terrain and that you can control. The camera follows. Okay, so now we have our scene set up. Let's go ahead and save this scene, and we will just name it RPG level and create a new scene. On this scene, we're going to be creating a new folder in the scripts folder. Name it interfaces. Click create, make a new C# script, and name it game over. Go ahead and open that up. Since this is a GUI, you don't need any of these. Just go ahead and public on GUI, void on GUI, my bad. And we're going to use GUI dot button. Let's just go with 50, oops, my bad, new rect. Let's go 50. This value right here is the length, and this value right here is how wide it is. So we'll go with, let's go 50 again, comma, and then what you want it to say. So let's go ahead and say start over. We're actually going to not close that off with a statement and put an if above it. And as you can see, I added an extra parenthesis down here to close it off. Open bracket. Sorry, my enter key is missing, so I'm just hitting the little metal piece. Alright, so in here we're going to do application dot load level string RPG level. And what this will do is when you lose the game, it will pop up saying start over, and you can click the button and it will restart the game. We're going to go ahead and drag this onto main camera. Save the scene. Save this one as game over. Go ahead and open our RPG level scene again, and go back into our scripts folder. Next we're going to be creating our health script. So go ahead and create a new C# script. Name it HealthManager. Don't forget, since we're using instancing, we need to import the system.collections.generic. public static instance, HealthManager instance, public static HealthManager get instance. If instance equals null, instance equals new HealthManager. Return instance. Alright. Next, we're going to go ahead and assign our variables. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my region. You do not have to do this once again. Alright, public int current health, max health. Now this is very basic for right now, but this is how we're going to do it. Alright, so once again, we will not be using the start method in any of our scripts, besides for the instance manager and our interfaces. Alright, so we're going to do public health manager, and we're going to set the max health to your stats, your stamina stats. So how you do this was type in stat manager dot get instance, add your parentheses, dot stamina, and I'm going to make this value times 10, so I want 10 health for every stamina point we have. Now we're going to make our current health equal to our max health, because we just started the game and we want full health. Now for our update function. So I'm actually going to change this to process. You do not have to do this, it's just I was told that it would be better practice not to use the update function in a non-mono behavior script, which reminds me, we need to go ahead and remove mono behavior up here. Now, we're going to write an if statement. If current health is less than 1, GameObject.destroy, and now since we don't have it attached to anything, we're going to have to find it. So GameObject.find object with tag player. Also, we're going to application.load level game over, and then close that off. Currently that's all we're going to be doing for the health manager. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and I will see you in our next tutorial.